Before we
Alrighty.
dive in, I actually do want to show you guys on Twitch what my design looks like and something else I whipped up today.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
if you wouldn't mind joining me and increasing my viewer count.
I'll put your
Totally not a
co-host.
ploy just to get more viewer count.
Totally not. Totally
I was
Right.
just waiting for the pre-roll ads to stop.
Oh, right, yeah, there's that.
Yep.
Dex is like, oh, that's right. You guys are scrubs without an account.
No, I get those ads too. Oh, wow, a sub. Ooh, I like that.
Oh yeah.
Ben, I'm coming in your office to see this because my computer's still starting up.
Oh, okay. You're telling me I'm gonna have to hide all my super secret Space Master stuff.
Now it's when we need to hide it.
All right. So that's obviously what we were doing last time.
And
Sorry, we had to deal with the audio stuff there.
Okay. That's what I had put together and made a video of. Now, on your Twitch, you should be able to click the little gear icon at the bottom right, and it'll tell you what P it's playing at. I believe I can only get up to 720p, because I'm not special.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Do you see there's that big star near the top, center top?
Oh yeah, I see it.
I see it flickering.
Okay. Can you see other stars around it flickering?
I'm gonna have to full screen it.
Yeah, just barely.
Just barely.
Yeah, I see a few flickering in the top.
Okay.
It's subtle.
It is subtle. So the version that I whipped up today is this. And
Daniel
that,
just said that was way better.
you think that you like that better?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A
Does
lot
it
more
need
sparkle.
does it need to slow down? Does it need to be different colors?
I think it definitely needs to slow down a little bit because I can watch the bottom right side and just I can watch the pink go through.
You can actually see the let me expose to you what the video is underneath. Shield your eyes if you're in a dark room. This is very bright.
Oh,
Nice.
That's
Now,
the
if you put the people dancing in front of that,
no, this is that kind of stream.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we can put that sort of content on here, even hidden behind stars. But risque.
But that's what's
Oh.
producing all the sparkly. Let me
it looks really good.
It does.
go down to like 50%.
Are we going to see the change immediately?
It should take you about 3 to 7 seconds before you see the change.
Okay, yeah, that definitely looks slower.
Let me go even lower because it's not that much slower.
Really?
Yeah,
How's
maybe
that?
25%.
That's 33 right there.
That's a good bit better.
I looked for other swirls, but unfortunately, they don't have the more subtle gradations, or I didn't find one with the subtle gradations that this has.
Mm-hmm.
I found one of those like pinwheel lollipops, but it had white lines in between each of the rainbow colors, and it was a jarring sweep of white across the screen.
Yeah.
So this looks good to you?
It's a huge
Yep.
improvement. I would do the speed maybe up to 35 or 40% personally, just because I think 30% is in danger of being too subtle again.
All right, let's put this at 4.
My main feedback so far is kind of wondering if the flickering is actually enough. And now I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to picture in my mind right now what twinkling stars actually look like.
Right?
Um,
Damn.
but I feel like they sometimes just kind of briefly wink out entirely, don't they?
Well,
Maybe
see,
I'm
I
not.
like this because it achieves the sort of peripheral vision of like a movement, which is what twinkling stars to me kind of look like. No?
No, sorry, not about that.
You're talking about how close I am and how loud I am?
No.
Okay. Well, you're making a face. I don't know what it's about. Um. Okay. But I think that this effect is a good starting point. I think it looks good. If Ben wants something more specific, then we have time to do that later. But this looks really good.
Take it. I've got.
Yep, I think it looks good.
I see you're playing around with fonts too.
Oh, I think I like that one better.
Okay. You
I
already
like
see
the
that here.
color scheme more.
Yeah, I want a matching color.
And
You
this
don't want
one.
something super high contrast.
Yeah, I don't want a different color added into this because I
Okay.
think I like.
Just so long as it's not Comic Sans.
Oh well.
The font is the more important thing. I can change the colors on the fly.
I think a
Yeah.
cleaner font.
So it
I was
sounds
gonna say,
like
I
you're
like
liking this one just as it is.
I
The
liked the
second one?
sleek one. Yeah, I mean, frankly, I think that one's pretty cool.
Could do that.
Yeah, I think I'd get that out of there.
You don't think that they should both be there?
Get that pile of hot garbage off of my screen.
Dang.
That looks way better. There was the two of them together. I felt my eye twitching.
That was scathing.
So
Could feel
I
the
don't want
Yeah.
to
energy.
center them unless we're wanting to stream without the rolls and the Roll20 chat
Oh,
visible.
you're right, because the roll is going to be on the.
Yep.
So that does make it pretty much center. That makes
As Senator's just gonna get.
sense.
Yeah. And I
I'm
may
gonna
end
go
up.
back to my computer now.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to unmute yourself.
I may end up moving the entire scene a little bit to the left because of the chat column.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see. It may look fine just cutting straight in as it is.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go. We're still using the this boring old thing here for tonight. And I'll get everything else set up
Oh yeah,
later.
we got a
Actually, I
few
can use the
people
new
get
font.
to sneak in and get a little peek at what is to come.
Right.
All right, I ended up with 2 cats in here. Yeah, 2 cats. They're playing nice though.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better quality now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. My headset was giving me some trouble when I first booted up, so just wanted to make sure it was working and I didn't sound like a robot.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Oh man.
All right,
Do I
so
tissue? Yes, I do. Okay.
previously on New Horizons, our daring crew uncovered a hidden treasure trove slash holdout bunker inside the ship, and then you arrived in you're all in space and pulled your shenanigans with the rudders, managing to obscure what you had done. So as far as they know, you don't have the rudder back to Anagris anymore, just as they've requested. And so they're expecting you to come back to them before you try to head back to Anagris again, assuming that you ever do that. But for now, what lies ahead of you is a sizable fleet in orbit over Yarla, Tabukan fleet, alongside a couple of Uralan ships and the primary station, which are apparently under Tabukan control at this point. So what's it going to be?
Can somebody type that out so my absolutely fried parent brain can comprehend what he's just said?
We
So
need to
there,
get
you
to the
said
planet and
Tabuk
there's
is
ships in the way.
controlling. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Cliff notes are great.
So I think the simplest thing to do is to just try to stay undetected and approach the planet as sneaky as we can. I know that goes without saying, but if we're with the Anagris ships, then I'm assuming the Tabukans aren't going to be as interested in us at the moment. So if we
Yep.
could slip their sensors, it's probably a good idea.
Are the Anagris ships coming with us?
I doubt it.
Oh, okay. You just mean like we're coming from them. It looks like we're coming from them.
Right. We're at the Anagris jump point. So what it would kind of look like to the blockade is that another ship from Anagris just jumped in.
Ben, what would be the mechanics of sending a tight beam to Boris planet side, or at least where we believe Boris would be set up planet side, and expecting a response back from him? Is that feasible?
So I would say that, assuming you had, we can do a bit of retroactive fleshing out of this plan, I suppose, since we left it pretty vague before.
Oh, I didn't think that we had actually gotten to the planet before.
Yeah, no, I
no.
think we.
Well, so not recently. It's been a while. Y'all were on there. Remember, that's where the the massacre took place. The smearing of several Uralans across the landing strip in a town on the outskirts, or I should say on the outskirts of one of the smaller towns on Urala. And then you guys were accosted before you could leave and pressed into what you've been up to for the past several weeks in game, doing some reconnaissance and also sabotage on behalf of the Uralan government. Yeah, you were face to face with one of their generals who was not too shy about saying that he wanted the peace only policy and the Lathox religion to be swept under the rug or altered a bit if it could be. He didn't like that.
Can you
But you
pause
also
for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because I'm not sure what this is answering.
Sorry, you were. I guess maybe I'm rambling a little bit. You seem to think that you had not been on the planet before.
No.
No. I think what he was saying
no.
is last time we attempted to run the blockade, we didn't make it to the planet, right?
Okay. Yeah,
right, and
that's true.
I actually even earlier, even more recent than that, it sounded to me like you were basically saying that trying to tight beam something to the planet would be retconning, but I thought that we left off last session while we were basically still with the Enagrans at the edge of the system.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
getting ready to jump.
So the part that would be retconning would be if you guys had any, basically saying that you guys had the info necessary to attempt a tight beam
Okay, gotcha.
would be a little bit technically a retcon just because that was never really discussed before. Okay, so thanks for clarifying. So you guys were. I was just concerned based on the some of
I'm
the
not that old
planning
yet, Ben.
from earlier today. Okay, so you do remember from that. All right, so let me start over. Let's try again. So regarding attempting a tight beam communication to Boris, for example, you do know roughly where the building was. I would say that it wouldn't be outside the, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch of the imagination to say that you or that Cade could figure out um, a close enough angle that he could get a pretty tight beam sent off. As far as mechanics go, of course, anybody who happened to be trying to intercept anything along that line, of course, that very specific line, they would need to have something in place to basically hijack that. It would require a good bit of precision. Now, of course, if they are inside the building, basically on the other side of the console, wherever that tight beam communication would end up, then obviously, they're not going to need too much to, uh, unless, sorry, getting a little scrambled here. They would still need to decrypt it from the codes you guys are using that you'd set up with your own Intel.
Okay.
But yeah,
So,
similar issue.
how are we feeling about sending a message to Boris as we approach, assuming that we're sub light speed and that he could theoretically get a message back to us before we actually have to start worrying about hiding and detection checks?
I think my answer to that would be based on, are the ships of the blockade facing other jump points and not between us directly and the planet? Can they intercept the tight beam? Is, I guess, what I'm getting at. Because that could compromise our attempt at stealth.
Them intercepting the tight beam would basically be astronomical odds. Um, as far as intercepting your arrival, yeah, they're in position to intercept your arrival in that orbit. So, but no, the tight beam, you don't need to worry about a ship in orbit randomly happening to be in the right spot. Um, as far as a response, he would not be able to tight beam a response because he won't be able to track you.
Right.
If he were going to respond, it would have to be a broadcast, presumably that he would encrypt.
Even if we maybe said we'll keep this course for 8 hours, and if we don't hear something from you by that time, then we're going independent.
We could
Yeah, I
try
suppose
that.
if you gave him if you basically sent him the plotted course exactly, then yeah, you could accomplish that.
Yeah,
Depends on how much you're willing to risk
yeah.
having him exposed.
That does come with the risk that if the receiving console is compromised, then we've just given away our location.
Yeah, that will
Yeah.
essentially nullify any. Well, no, I won't say that. As long as you don't give him exactly all the way to the planet's surface. If you cut it off a bit, give yourselves enough time to maneuver and
Hmm.
mix things up, then you'd still get the benefit of your all your stealthy measures. You just would you would reveal the fact that there is someone out there, which will give them a bit more alertness, is all.
Anyone opposed?
I
I
don't have a
think we're
problem with that.
for. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much for that.
Okay. I nominate Ethan to write the message again.
Saoirse will
Okay.
slowly raise her finger to her nose.
What are we trying, or what all are we trying to convey in this message? So I can.
I was teasing. We probably don't actually need to write it out. I think we're just trying to basically say, Orisa, we made it back. Um, we need to know what to do, where is safe, where to go, and here's our course for the next 8 hours. If you don't spawn back to us, then we're gonna deal with a random thing.
Oh no, I have an idea.
Oh
Oh
no.
no, I have an idea.
That is the
It's going in quotes.
quintessential way to sum up Ethan.
He's concerned for all your sakes.
I was just about to come there and type that.
You're so welcome. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. All right, so we have Ethan typing up an idea, or were you about to spill your idea, Ethan?
Oh, I'm writing the message.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
Now
oh
you're
no,
fine.
we're in
Okay.
deep.
All right. So he's writing a message.
In over
There-
our heads now. So one of my thoughts for sneaking up on the planet would be to predict its orbit and then arrive at what would be one of the future Lagrange points and just kind of drift into a stable orbit around the planet and sneak on in. It's a little technical for Stars Without Number, but it sounds good.
Hey, it's good flavor.
It's good flavor. It's
Yeah.
great flavor.
Yeah, true. It's better than good. It's good. Great and good. I just slipped in a little Teen Girl Squad reference there. Anyway. Yeah, so your pilot is dutifully directing the ship towards the planet on this pre-planned course, as Brother Nick is eagerly typing up the message. He's carefully crafting it to be full of inside jokes and humorous references for the crew. He gets great joy out of pulling one over on whoever might happen to intercept and then also decrypt your message.
Yep.
It's a gift
Just
for
waiting
him.
for that.
We're
Oh
sure
no.
he's so bored.
I mean, you figure sitting on a spaceship going from point A to point B is like being stuck on a little bit more cozy of an airplane for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you have the freedom to unbuckle and move about the cabin.
Yep.
Tom is a bit more restless than he tends to usually be. He's been seen a couple times pacing a wide route around the ship, to peeking in every once in a while on the bridge, keeping his thoughts to himself, but clearly wanting to keep in the loop about what's going on.
Has anyone updated him at all?
Mm. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess it depends on if he's paced into the bridge or not.
yeah, he knows about your interaction with the Anagran ships. That at least ostensibly, I'd say that you were happy to keep him in the loop that you do in fact still have a way back out that direction, and of course all your other escape paths.
Yeah.
So not to worry. And he was, of course, in the meeting that concerned whether or not you were going to give up the rudder to Rudders Kokupiets to the Anagrins. So yeah, he's pretty well aware of everything that's going on right now. You get the impression it's probably something like pregame jitters. He knows the next few hours are going to be obviously dangerous, but also pretty momentous for him and his people.
Yeah.
Yep.
His kind, I should say.
Yep. They may not have accepted him yet.
Yeah.
So is he just sitting by himself?
No, he's been pacing. Pretty much not been still since you left the Anagran ships and started heading towards the planet.
Got you. And he's in the meeting room? I'm looking at the map, so.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he keeps going through there, but no, he's in constant motion. He's going all around the ship, just working out some nervous energy and keeping tabs on everybody and everything. Just
We said 8 hours.
Just as a example, I don't actually know what a good time would be. Ben, how long will it take us to get there? If we just move normally.
it will take you 9.5 hours to get to the orbit of the planet.
Okay, and it's 9.5 hours is the point at which we'd be detectable.
Correct.
Okay, so.
Do we want to leave ourselves some cushion?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's maybe give him 6 hours to respond.
Yep.
Oh, let's type tears. That would have been.
Unless Ben says it'll take 6 hours for our transmission to even reach him.
No, I'm not too worried about dissecting transmission times and all that.
Okay.
I'm happy with intersystem communications being essentially instantaneous,
All right.
just for ease of use. If that lack of realism bothers anyone, then free to take it up with management.
I think we're fine with that. It gives them plenty of time to get it, respond, and us to actually have a chance to get it. Because we can even, if we're feeling like we want to buy a little extra time, we can just slow down. So I guess we should kind of fast forward to when we get. Oh, here we go.
I think we were waiting for a finish.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have the message being sent to Boris. Shall I read it out loud for the?
Absolutely.
Sure.
In Nicolette's voice, please.
I picture like Southern Belle writing a Civil War style letter.
My beloved,
Oh no.
I have long desired to hear from you and to see you face to face. Though circumstances have kept us apart these past months, I hope we may soon be reunited. Though I fear in these past few months your affections may have waned. If there's a change in circumstance, let me know. Else let me know how and when we may see each other again. I shall content myself to await your message in kind for these 6 hours. Else if I do not hear from you, my heart shall fear the worst. Eagerly awaiting your reply, Nicolette.
I had to mute myself.
And Danielle had to deafen herself.
That's good, Ethan.
Danielle, you are muted still, by the way.
You're
Just
our period piece writer.
Apologies. I've been trying to use tissues, so
No,
I
you're
accidentally
good.
hit deafen. I meant to mute, but it still achieved what I meant for it to achieve.
Mm. Thank you for that. And apologies to everyone listening. I do what I can.
I will be
So
watching the stream later. It sounds like I missed out.
Oh yeah, if you didn't hear
I didn't
okay,
hear the emotional
Oh.
reading.
the Southern Belle breathing.
Mm, You did
Yeah.
a Southern Belle? Oh, I'm watching
You
the stream
did.
later.
I didn't go as high pitched as I could have, but that's fine.
Oh wait,
Anyway, I went for a breath here.
oh
My
my.
accent. Anyway, yeah. For context, I am from Alabama, so I'm allowed to make fun of a Southern accent, I think.
Gotcha.
Southern born and raised.
I make
That
fun of
is-
everybody. Please permission.
I'm an equal opportunity bully.
Make fun of
Yeah.
everyone equally. Yeah, that's the way to be, right?
Oh my.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't
So,
discriminate.
with a gleeful button press, Brother Nick sends it off.
While Kate is face palming over in the co-pilot chair.
She's gonna take opportunity here to go check on Tom. She's also going to, on her way there, check on Narrow.
How much longer?
I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check with Cade, but I don't know. Have you opened up that box of Twinkies yet? Don't tell me you finished it.
There's still some left.
Wait, no, not your original one. The one you found wedged in between the emergency smuggler's holder,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah. I ate mine because I found those.
Okay, pause real quick. So you never actually opened the box last session?
That's true.
You were just very Nero was just super confident that she had found a box that had Twinkies in it.
That's true.
So
That's
I was
true.
curious to know if Ben actually decided that the Tabukan government had it in their budget to put a box, or that a Tabukan soldier had it a high enough priority to put a box of Twinkies behind the panel for the smuggler's hold in the
Survival
Harbinger of
food.
Doom.
Survival food. It doesn't spoil.
Oh my word.
So, Nero is poised, ready to open this box.
Okay, so Nero hasn't, or is this going back in time to when she did try to open the
Yeah.
box? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this can be, unless does he think she still has not opened, that she just carried on along as though it had Twinkies in it? Did she feel that strongly that fate was?
I assumed. Yeah.
Okay.
If
She would
there's
have
no
opened it
Twinkies in there,
quicker.
then we probably do need to retcon because I just kind of assumed that there were Twinkies and was going on with that.
Oh man, the assumptions some people make, just thinking Twinkies are gonna fall out of the sky or the
Oh my
woodwork.
word, Ben, get on with it.
I mean, I assume that the GM is smart enough not to taunt Nero with Twinkie box without Twinkies.
I mean, is it taunting
Oh
if he
man.
gave you a smuggler's hold, though?
Without Twinkies, yes.
With heavy weapons, though?
Hey, some you can't always get what you
So
want.
I'll amend
Tell
what
us what
Nero
happened.
says. She looks at Saoirse with this kind of this mixture of well, duh, of course there's Twinkies in there, as well as a growing fear. What if there are no Twinkies in there?
Yes.
I ate all my other Twinkies. She looks around for the box.
All right. She runs and scrambles, finds the box. Where
Yeah, she runs into the mess hall, the little mess hall that we've got, and
Oh, she trusted the crew enough to put her emergency Twinkies in the mess hall. That's character
Wow.
growth.
I'm
Sorry, go
impressed.
ahead.
Yeah, where has she stashed the box?
it is definitely behind stuff, in such a way that she has to climb up on the counter. Probably a food prep counter because it's not like there's a whole lot of space in here.
Yeah.
As she does it, Saoirse's going like, "Get knock your boots off! What are you doing? I make food on that."
Nero glances back and down at her and then opens the cabinet and reaches way back. She's even having to get up on her tiptoes on top of the counter. You know, she's not that tall herself.
Saoirse is leveling
Mhm.
up with her anger. Her military history is screaming.
So
You did
Nero's
not.
reaching behind all these packaged meals and dehydrated things.
Yeah, there's kale, a bag of dried kale that gets knocked out of the cabinet as she's reaching for her Twinkie box.
Saoirse's gonna try and catch everything that Nero is knocking out of the pantry.
And she finally gets her box of Twinkies and pops down off the counter. Turns around real quick and just
Saoirse's
wipes the
juggling
counter
like
off
3
with her
cans
hand.
and wipes the counter off with her. Saoirse just huffs, and then since her arms are full of pantry items, she's gonna telekinetically like grab a dishcloth and start trying to wipe it down. Like the things this girl does for Twinkies.
And she opens the box.
All right. And she praises whatever she's inclined to praise because there are, in fact, a few little Twinkies nestled in there, along with a few other goodies, chocolates of varying kinds, and a small flask that is unmarked.
Oh. Yeah, she takes that out and puts it on the counter. She doesn't want that.
Saoirse looks at her and with her telekinesis like shoves the rag over the flask like out of her way and continues to wipe down the counter. So it's like, what is this? 200 proof Twinkie liqueur?
Nero looks back at it with renewed interest.
Saoirse's gonna like telekinetically rip it like out of her arm's reach. Like, that was a joke. If Nero lunges for it, she will drop the pantry items to try and keep her from getting.
No, Nero is facing a crisis of options. She's got Twinkies and chocolate in this little box here, and then she's got what sounds to her like probably alcoholic, but maybe not, really, really concentrated sugar.
Oh no.
Saoirse, Brother Nick and Cade have never seen Nero actually drink alcohol. She's even turned it down.
Oh, see, Saoirse knowing about Nero's whole being able to drink poison thing would have just assumed that she drank it and it didn't affect her.
Yeah. No, there've been those occasions where I think even when we met what's
Kareem?
his name? Kareem and the other guy at the bar, she had a drink but didn't touch it.
Mm.
Mm.
All right, so she's now interested in this alcohol, which is the first we've ever seen, but mostly because she thinks it's Twinkie flavored.
She thinks it's Twinkie juice.
No.
Twinkie juice.
No, that's the worst.
Danielle, what have you done?
What have I done?
You have corrupted the innocent one.
Oh man.
I
You sense
didn't mean it.
potential
I
for an
didn't mean it.
imminent rift
no.
in reality. Something is wrong.
Listen, I was just acting the maggot, okay? It was I banjaxed it. I didn't mean it. Just leave it alone.
What do you think it is?
You know, be split if I know.
Why is it in
It's
here
just
then?
some. Saoirse's gonna like look in the box again at everything in there. Well, if I were to look at it a little more closely, and my accent's messing up here. If I were to look at it a little more closely, I'd say it's some doser just tossing it away for when they can sneak off and have a bit of fair play. So I suppose it is some of the black stuff or something other.
Black stuff.
That's,
Does that just mean
do they
beer?
have beer where you're from?
Okay.
Look, you try it for all you want. I don't care, but just don't get flooded, all right? She's just gonna like telekinetically shove it at Nero and proceed to continue trying to put the pantry items back, but realizing she's not going to be able to reach the cabinets, and so she just has to focus on telekinetically putting them back up.
Nera does uncork or uncap the vial as long as it's not locked in any manner and sniff at it.
It's not.
Saoirse's trying not to give it too much attention, but she's very nervous about this.
Does it smell sweet?
Give me a notice check from Nero.
Oh no.
How good is her nose? Notice wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
pretty good.
Follow your nose.
So she takes the flask, gives it a careful waft, and notices as she's doing that the there's a little tiny clasp on the side of the flask that kind of blends in with the material of said flask.
Mhm.
And but the smell she gets, it is pretty sweet. It's kind of strange. She can't exactly place it, but it almost smells floral.
Oh.
Definitely not what she was.
Disappointed.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like distilled and concentrated sugar like she was hoping. It also does not smell alcoholic as she's accustomed to those things smelling.
She put the cap back on. Smells like perfume. And she looks over at Cade.
Okay, just looks at her like, why are you looking at me?
Don't noble people use that?
Sure.
Ah,
It doesn't mean I use it.
Kid. She's like gonna suddenly like grin, and Sirius is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, kid. I'm sure he's bouncing around smelling like a field of flowers."
Not
Does
since last I checked.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
does Cade want to take a whiff and see if he recognizes this, being from Tabuk himself?
Sure, he'll take leave of his senses and go check it out.
All right, give me a no check from Cade.
All right.
As he's walking over to take it, Nera says, kind of under her breath, "Always dressed so pretty."
Sirius just like snorts and then tries to cover it up with like a cough.
Cade will just kind of sideways glance at Nero and say, "Well, thank you." Begrudgingly acknowledging it as a compliment. Do you want me to roll that with wisdom or intelligence?
Whichever seems good to you.
Well, I'm going int because I have bonuses there. Eek. Not as good
Okay,
as I thought.
that's going to be a failure in that case. Would he like
I'm
to
not-
use a reroll?
I'm not burning my reroll on that.
Sirius is gonna.
I mean, this
Does
thing
he
will be
make
over by
a
the time you
face,
get
or
anything
does
else.
he just look confused, or?
Well, okay, so since this scene will be over after this, I guess I'll use the reroll. He'll sniff it and just be like, "I don't know what this is," and then sniff it again.
Okay. So yeah, it eludes him for a second. It tickles the back of his mind, and then he realizes. I'll leave it to you to explain exactly how he knows this.
Oh no.
But
Uh-oh.
it clicks suddenly. He recognizes this as a fairly expensive and illegal, even on Tabuk, basically an opioid.
Oh
Oh,
no.
dear.
Oh shoot!
It's designed to be, for you to drink it, but it basically is like a super drug that is fairly coveted, and he may have he has various ways that he might have happened to find out what this smells like. But
When he looks like shocked, Sirius is
Cade
just gonna
looks
be.
green.
When he
and
looks green, yeah, Sirius is just gonna be like,
gingerly,
"What's problem? You date your ex-girlfriend or something?"
he gingerly caps it back on and says, "Nobody needs to take this. Perhaps we should throw it out the airlock."
Ah, come on now. You're just afraid someone's gonna smell prettier than you.
No, I just don't want to know what Tom might do with illegal, insane level opioids in his system. Or any
Sirius
of
is
us, for
gonna
that
like
matter.
freeze when he says that.
Oh.
Wait. You're saying that that's a
They won't sell this on Urala. They won't sell this on Tabuk. I don't know how it was here.
Oh. Tell you what, Nero.
Chocolate
keep
stains
this-
on her lips.
You keep this safe for now, till we can use it later at the right time. I'll buy you a lifetime supply of Twinkies.
Okay. Nero looks over for the.
Kate is actually going to tuck it inside of a pocket and back away from Saoirse.
Kid, what are you doing? That's a good bargaining chip.
If you want someone killed.
She's
And
gonna
consider
roll her
that a good
eyes.
bargaining chip, have Nero stab them.
Oh my. Listen, there are grown people who can decide to throw away their life how they want. Wait a minute. You're saying this thing's more likely to kill someone than not?
Or the person who takes it.
And it smells like flowers.
Ironic, isn't it?
Okay,
Let's
we,
just
we
say there
might
was an
need this.
incident at college, and there's no way anyone on this ship should have it.
Oh, you went to college. Was that the beginning of your daddy issues or just maybe the end of it? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, this could still be useful to us, even if we're not using it as a bargaining chip for someone to take for fun. It might help to put an end to a problem later. Either
You mean
case.
give it to the prisoners?
What? No, what kind of barbarian you take me for?
The
Jeez.
one who takes this stuff.
I said nothing about taking it myself or forcing anyone else to. But you never know when you need something that can get the job done quickly. And as wonderful as Nero and her stabby blades are, I can't put all of the pressure on her to be everywhere at once.
It would be
Do you
fun.
really think we're going to need the means to poison someone with an opioid overdose?
She's just gonna look at him for a moment and actually look sort of serious. Yeah. We're dealing with a planetary invasion. A king that doesn't want to take no for an answer. Who can honestly look at a peace-loving people and say, I don't care about how many millions of you there are, or the life you live. I want your planet. These are dangerous times, and we might need something just as dangerous if we want to help put things right.
Dangerous times does not mean that we should respond in kind.
I wish we lived in
Becoming
a
like
world
them.
where I could believe that. And I hope that majority of people never have to stoop that low. But I'm willing to do it so that other people don't. She's just gonna like turn back around to the cabinet and start picking
Then I'll
things
keep
back
this
up
with me
telekinetically.
until you say that we need it, and I'll think about it. And he looks very grave.
She's not gonna say anything for a minute, but
Nera seems to have lost interest in that particular conversation and digging into her box, pulling everything
after
out
a
and putting
minute,
it on the counter.
he'll definitely just reaffirm. She'll just tell him, just make sure you don't get anywhere near the airlock with it.
No promises.
Brother
She'll
Nick
turn at
wants
him,
to-
and she's just gonna say, "If I tell you it's a captain's order, does that make any difference?"
Does that mean you're actually going to embrace being the boss then?
If it means doing things the right way, then sure. But if you're gonna toss something as valuable as that out the window, then someone's got to step up and think like a boss.
Wow.
Funny you lecturing on doing things the right way. And he'll just walk out.
Ooh, snap. Brother Nick just standing there like, what did I just walk in on?
Oh yeah. So maybe Brother Nick
Nero
walking
just
in
eating
as
her
Kane's
Twinkie.
leaving,
Nope, she
catches
stopped.
a
Sorry,
he
Keith.
Sorry,
catches
hold
a
on,
whiff
Sid.
of
Yeah, bring
the
it in,
floral. Oh, sorry. Are you all there?
Nice. Yeah, sorry, I keep talking. We keep talking over you right as you start talking. Go ahead, Ethan.
He caught a whiff of the floral scent as Cade is leaving. He says, "Whoa, a little early to start partying, isn't it?"
Kid will just give him a dark look.
I'm guessing it was a close friend that Cade lost.
Not a passion of Cade.
Definitely struck a nerve.
Nero inspects the Twinkies. She actually opens it like a normal person from the wrapper, and is poking and prodding at the Twinkie shell over the counter so that the crumbs don't get on the floor.
Yeah. So the Twinkies seem like normal Twinkies to her.
Seem like normal Twinkies. That is such DM speak. Don't trust it.
Yes,
She
it is DM speak.
she licks the Twinkie.
Mm.
Does
It
Nero have
feels-
that cybernetic that filters poisons?
Nope.
She doesn't?
Mm-mm. She's got the one that lets her breathe in like low atmosphere and ignore weather effects, but
Oh, I thought you had the
Roll
one
for
that filters
Constitution.
poison.
Well,
nope.
she's also got one that lets her eat a lot of native life forms for sustenance. So
Mhm.
no like
Mm.
native biology or biosphere is ever
Yes.
incompatible with her. But that does not mean that she can just like eat something that's poisonous and be cool with
Right.
it.
The immunofiltration systems are on my wish list, but that would take me down to a normal max system strain of I think 7.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Whew.
See.
Hope your saving throw is good.
So yeah, she licks the Twinkie and it feels like a normal Twinkie.
All right. She takes a bite of it, not a big bite, but big enough to get to the creamy center.
She sighs in relief as it tastes just like she expects a Twinkie to taste.
At least something on this ship makes sense.
She separates the Twinkies from the other stuff, and just kind of flippantly, these are drugs.
Oh man, that's great.
One level
Apparently-
to Twinkie addiction.
Apparently, whoever compiled this box saw no need to have
Drug the Twinkies.
any sort of altered version of Twinkies. Just regular Twinkies were good enough.
Oh my
Yeah, but don't
goodness.
trust those chocolates.
Yeah, that's what she was eating earlier.
Yeah, Nero
Yeah.
already made that mistake. There is one partially eaten chocolate bar that is, I guess, in amongst the group.
After a couple moments, if no one's talking to her, Saoirse's just gonna slam the cabinet door shut and just try to calmly walk out, but it seems more like a muted storming out of the room.
Nero, after the cabinet slams, what happened? She was completely absorbed in her chocolate and Twinkies.
I'm gonna go check on Tom.
Are you okay?
She is just like
I know when you're not okay.
she's grasping like on the sides of her jacket, and she keeps looking like she's about to start a sentence and then just stopping, like she can't really put into words what she's feeling.
Nero scoops up her Twinkies and puts them in various pockets and walks along with Saoirse, or follows behind Saoirse if she's already started moving.
How is Brother Nick reacting to this whole scene?
Hmm. Came in late. He may stay behind and help pick up the kitchen.
Yeah, Nara left some drugged chocolates and all
Oh no.
out on the mess prep
I'm
counter.
just imagining Brother Nick like, woo-wee, it is time to party.
Yeah, we don't know what his stance on drugs is.
Oh no. Guys, I
Yeah.
am hoping that this stays family friendly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I,
All right,
we're,
kids,
we're,
don't
we're
do drugs at
The
home.
official stance of New Horizons is that you do not use drugs
Yes, this
for
is
funsies, children. For recreational services, it is frowned upon.
in the interest of family-friendly streaming. The pile of chocolates spontaneously combusts.
No, no.
I will note that noting that this is a family friendly stream was more of a descriptor of our pattern rather than a requirement of our future.
Quite true.
It also, I think, is more given to language and lack of sexual content and things like that.
Yes. Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
very family-friendly
We are
to.
dealing with the reality of a military that wants to try and kill off a planet. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Hey, teaching
But-
kids about the dangerous side effects of drugs is very family-friendly.
Don't do drugs, kids. Okay, so continuing. Our lawyer said we had to say those things for legal purposes. Moving on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
does
Okay.
Saoirse actually allow Nero to walk with her?
So she's gonna. I'm looking at the map real quick. I'm trying to see. So she's gonna kind of fall into her normal route, but then realizes that's the door that goes past the med bay where Cade normally stays. So she's gonna stop and like pivot 90 degrees and go out this other door.
Don't just look out the airlock.
She's gonna look at Nero. She's like, I really don't feel like stargazing with the dead bodies we've got hiding in there. No.
I meant the other one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
Nero holds a still wrapped Twinkie up in front of Saoirse. I think it's not drugs.
Saoirse laughs and takes it. You know, I've never eaten one of these things before.
Don't get used to them.
She'll unwrap it. What is this? Some type of sponge? I thought it was supposed to be a cake.
It's more cakey when you chew it a little bit.
I'm sure chewing does help with eating and all.
Yeah.
Saoirse will open it and then take a bite. I'm going to roll something real quick. just to appease myself. Just to see how would Saoirse react. I'm gonna say, let's see, what would it? I'm gonna do a notice check. No, would it be notice? Yeah, we'll do a notice check with a. Would it be Constitution? We'll say Constitution.
8 skill combination.
Mhm.
And this
Almost
is
said you do that.
if she appreciates the flavor. And the higher the roll, the more she appreciates it.
Oh,
That's a low one.
Rip.
So,
Nero's got
with
fear
as
over it.
much as Nero just jives for these things, Saoirse was expecting the freaking Midas touch. Like, she was expecting this to be better than street drugs and alcohol and, like, any kind of confection that she's ever had.
Which are bad, kids.
Which are bad, kids. But upon tasting
Children.
the supposed cake, it does in fact still feel like a sponge inside her mouth. It is helped somewhat by the cream when she bites down, and seeing Narrow's really hopeful face, and like, what, well, like, what do you think, kind of thing. She's just gonna like try to like be like, oh yeah, that's I think it's called a sponge cake. You know, that type of cake that they make that's sort of like a sponge. I think that if that's what they were going for, they've just nailed it. They just, man, wow. I've never tasted anything like it.
There's
I
just a
can
grin spreading slowly across Nero's face. She kind of sways back and forth, not back and forth, side to side.
Is she gonna call her out on her complete bullcrap, or is she gonna...
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, well, for the stream, since can they see our rolls and stuff?
Yes, they can.
Okay, so they see the 4 for that notice check and the 5 for the perform. Saoirse's not a good liar. She's seeing Narrow smiling. She'll like nod her head a little bit and just like keep holding it. And then after a while, if Narrow's still looking at her, she'll take another bite.
Nero holds her hand out, palm up.
It's marginally better this time, but she's not sure she ever wants to get used to this taste. And so she, realizing that Narrow has her hand out, looks a little confused for a moment. What do you want, a high five?
You don't have to keep eating it.
Oh, thank you so much. She's gonna like shove it at Narrow.
It ways to let you keep.
Yeah, you would be concerned about that, wouldn't you? Don't have a bottomless Twinkie box anymore, I guess.
I will if I get that flask back from Cade. What was that about?
I guess you did pay attention to that bit.
I was on drugs.
You think she was on drugs?
I forgot that the chocolate was spiked. She's gonna look really close into Narrow's eyes to see if she still looks drugged, by the way. She really wants to know. Ben, what kind of check could I make to see if she's a survive check or a notice check?
That's going to be a medicine
medicine check?
Yeah.
Heal.
Like a heal?
Yeah, sorry. Heal.
Alright, I'll do a heal check with like wisdom or intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter. Got it.
Mm.
Okay. Alright, she's checking pupils.
Say, she seems fine.
Okay. Just gonna, what were you high on? Did you take a swig of that, Jack, before you gave it off?
No, the chocolate was edibles.
Saoirse like pinches the bridge of her nose.
Oh, I left it on the counter. You shouldn't eat it.
Oh, Jesus. She's just gonna like breathe under her breath like, I thought I had enough on my plate. Concerning what you heard between me and DI, I've been around too many people for longer than I care to admit, or something like that would come in handy.
It's
a lot of crap could have been avoided if the right people had something like that at the right time.
How dangerous is it?
I don't know exactly what it is, but judging from what Cade did and said, I'm guessing enough to take down a full-grown man or woman. I think it's something that hurt him before, and for that, I'm sorry. I mean, we've all lost someone, but and she's, at this point, they're going to be outside that, like, smuggler's hold, I guess, because she kept walking.
Okay.
She's just gonna like kick the side of it with her boot and just keep kicking it. And then after a while, oh no.
So
Brother
she's
Nick
walking
finds
back
out.
in past Brother Nick is in here still cleaning up.
Yeah, he's still in there. She just no, he was in this room. That's where we all were.
Oh, was that in the mess? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's why he was there.
I got you.
Anyway,
Oh, yeah, I'm wherever the kitchenette is.
her hands are shoved in her pockets and she's just kicking harder and harder on the side of this thing.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
They'll fix it.
I know, but it'll still hurt.
I just don't know how to do it right. Nero, I've been trying to get on a better track because they say you can do that. She's gonna kick it again. People tell me, be the captain, be the boss. Then I'm the boss and what? Treat look a tosser? You think I like making a holy show of things? I don't. I'm not some holy Joe. I'm not trying to make a hames of it. I'm just here trying to do what the right thing is. And if you want me to be a captain, and I tell you no, and I tell you no, and I'm still called boss and captain and expected to act like one because, I don't know, maybe I actually give a toss about what the rest of you do and what happens. And then I think maybe now's the time to start acting like one, and it's not okay. Because I don't do things the right way, as someone very clearly pointed out. So maybe I should just break a few toes and fix it, because at least that's something I can fix after it's broken.
Okay, no, stop. I don't know what it's like to be a boss or a captain, but you've already done right. There's lobster puppies on an acid planet, and it's okay because they can live there. But they're not eating people, and they're not getting killed, and they're not being bred to eat people. And maybe the drug maybe that drug is good, maybe it's bad to have, but you're doing okay. We're all still alive.
Hi.
And
Well, I guess if you set the bar low enough, you can do all right.
we're pretty dumb. We did some dumb things. But we made some decisions and we're all still alive.
Yeah, they're not too dumb. I mean, they're smart enough to get into that Tabukan military camp. Base, whatever. Smart enough to make off with their ship. You shouldn't call yourself dumb, Nero. Even if you're just trying to make me feel better.
I didn't do any of that, you did.
It was a lot of teamwork.
And it's actually completely true. Nero was at SeaWorld at that point.
She was overseeing the people that whose identities we needed. It's necessary.
Mhm.
Still part of the plan. LOL, I forgot about the SeaWorld trip. That's like really hungover people.
Mhm.
Alright. Sorry. Anyway, back into serious roleplay. Saoirse's gonna like just be tapping the side of this smuggler's hold with her boot. Just kind of half-heartedly kicking it.
I think you're right also. If we want you to be the boss, then we need to let you be the boss.
Nah, I mean,
No, there
listen,
is no nah to that.
a good boss doesn't run around being the moron. You don't just tell people what to do and don't listen when they tell you there's a problem. Maybe if I'll try and have a talk with him, but I appreciate that.
Do you want me to stand behind you and look threatening?
I don't know. When does Cade listen to you the most? When you're looking threatening or when you're just being narrow?
He doesn't.
I think he listens to you more than you think.
Very slight little smile from that kind of corner of the lip smile.
Now, he might be a little more thick than I thought he was. Being a hacker and all, I thought he was smart airs. But,
He's also noble, rich.
I don't know. He's different. In a lot of ways. But
I don't mean rich as in like he's bad, just that I don't think he's ever seen the streets like I have and uh, or like you have.
just gonna like she's gonna look off for a moment. Because I think in that moment she's realizing, both she and Nero have parts of their life that they miss and then parts of their life that they try not to think about. Well, here's hoping that I'm wrong. We don't ever need something like that. But I'd rather need it. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
It's like
And I
my
meant what I
sword.
said. If you can convince him not to chuck it out the airlock, I'll buy you Twinkies, and if you keep it on your person until I need it, I'll give you a lifetime supply. But don't wrestle it from him. Now, I do think I've maybe dented this a little bit, don't you think?
Nero looks down at the box.
Do you want me to make a check, Ben, to see if I actually dented it? Because that would be hilarious.
Sorry, dented the box.
The side of the
Oh,
smuggler's hold. No,
no need.
no,
There's no dent.
no way she did it. Okay, cool. There's like maybe a scratch from her boot.
Yeah, she probably scuffed the paint a little bit with her boot.
Yeah, scuffed it. See right there, I left my mark.
Nero has that wry grin again.
I
She
see.
doesn't answer.
I'm real chuffed that you noticed, but I'm right good at making a hames of things. Or at least I'm good at making my mark.
Anything
On the other
broken?
hand, she made quite a mark on her foot. Yeah.
Oh, do you want me to see if I broke my foot?
I doubt she would have broken her
I
foot
was
messing
gonna say,
around, but
I don't
her
think I did that.
her toes are definitely a little sore.
She doesn't heal herself. As a reminder to herself to be less stupid. Now,
And that she needs anger management courses too.
listen, if they put that in the budget or part of the captain's benefits plan, then she's all about it. Anyway.
Wait, I thought she wrote the captain's benefit plan.
Ooh, does she get that kind of freedom?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody checks on. Nobody's got a
So far, she got
routine of.
yeah.
Yeah, unsunk skills and to administrate to stop her.
Yeah, there we go.
And
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say,
Kate has
so
plenty of
far,
skills in administrating to stop her, but still, he would also vote for an anger management class for most of them. But
I'm just
Nobody's
Sorry.
imagining the group in group therapy now, and this
Oh.
needs to be drawn.
nobody's been doing
So
a
tell
nightly
me,
counting
Kate,
of the.
where
Go
do
ahead.
you think your daddy issues started?
Oh my.
Saoirse tells me you have issues with your father figure.
Oh
And
boy.
Saoirse just like looking
Just
like she's
rude.
the cat that got the canary, and Cade looking like I'm gonna walk out of here right now.
Captain's privileges revoked.
Well, at the moment she's gotten captain because she was the last one in Nose Goes, and multiple times has tried to say, "Don't call me boss," and everyone insists, "No, you're the captain. You are it." So
Mhm.
she is now firmly grasping this mantle. She's done trying to give it up because no one wanted to listen to her then. So she'll be pissed about it, but she's going to try and navigate how to be captain. So she's going to tell Saoirse's going to tell Nero, well, maybe you and Brother Nick could have a talk with Cade, but I don't think he'd much like seeing my face right now. I can try and talk to him later. I think I'm going to go update Tom on what's happening. Maybe you ought to see your friend Victor. Make sure he's not just holed up somewhere on this ship or, God forbid, looking for nooks and crannies he shouldn't be in.
Alright, so Brother
Her
Nick is
eyes
gone.
will involuntarily swing around to the out of order sign above the airlock that has now become the mortuary.
Yeah. Nero just gives her an okay and lets her go on her own way.
And Nero,
Yeah.
thanks. And
For what?
Saoirse's just gonna gesticulate wildly with her hands and like, for whatever that was. And then she's gonna like turn around and like dash off.
Mhm.
All right. Nero
Yay,
watches her.
emotions! Alright. She's gonna go find Tom. Do we want conversation with Tom to happen first or conversation with Cade? Or wait, or Nero going and finding Brother Nick?
I
I
think
was gonna
Brother
say
Nick was
Brother
already
Nick
going to
went.
find Cade.
No, was he?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was meaning to scroll and I accidentally clicked Henchkeeper and it popped in.
Wow,
But yeah, he said he was already going to find Kate.
what a punk.
Do we want to have the two of them converge on Kate at the same time, or do we want to just do Brother Nick mano a mano with Kate?
I think, well, I think it's up to the three of y'all, but it seemed
Mhm.
to me like Brother Nick was going to see Cade as Nero and Saoirse were wrapping up their conversation. So
Mhm. He would definitely get there first, most likely.
Yeah. I'll bring Nero around at an appropriately opportune time.
Sounds good.
Right, so where does Brother Nick find Cade?
He's in the med bay where he's basically made his quarters due to the limited space on the
Quarters.
ship. And he's basically just sitting on the bed, staring at the flask, which is now sitting inside of a locked medical cabinet,
That's a good place for
just
it.
staring at it through the glass.
Alright, so Brother Nick comes upon this scene, at least comes to the door. Take it away.
Yeah, I guess give a light wrap with the door and the door frame.
Cade will say, enter, and the door will open.
He'll take a scan of the med bay, since he hadn't been in there since they were looking at rooms. Had Cade done anything to spruce it up?
Nope, it's the same as it was.
He'll still give a small smile and say, "Like what you've done with the place."
Cade will snort and say, if anything, I just moved the IV stand out of the way. Not a lot of quarters on this ship with the hostages we have.
Yeah, so I'll nod and then get somber again and say, "So it appears the two of us are the only ones who know what those drugs are."
Seems like.
Care to tell me how you found out?
Well, I left class one day and saw a message from my friend saying he scored something especially special and that it cost a pretty penny and it's going to be at the party. And I was late as usual because I wasn't interested. And I walked into the dorm to find almost all of them comatose or dead. Idiots hadn't even looked up how to dilute it properly. Those who survived were injured, probably some brain damage from that. 8 or 10 of them died. And the flask was half that size. And he points up at the medical cabinet. Never thought I'd see it again, honestly. It hit the papers on Tabuk, it was so bad. How'd you find out?
Brother Nick won't respond for a while. You can see something about him changes. You can see a big man suddenly look small. He looks up with tears in his eyes. He says, "I'm sorry, Cade. I know you probably can't ever forgive me. I
Are you saying
found
you
out
sold it to him?
because I worked with people who sold things like that. Because I was no,
So you were with the black marketeers then?
at least in my sector, I grew up poor and with little opportunity, and I was found by men who needed a dumb ox, they said. I was big for my age and for the planet. They wanted muscle. It was a while before I knew what we were selling. in a while before I let myself see. I wanted to turn a blind eye to it and to pretend that we were pirates, that we were smugglers, that there were only good things in our hold. I'd reassure myself with the times I saw us bringing medicine to rebels or running guns to people who needed them. I'd try and turn a blind eye when it was crates of that filth. Till finally I couldn't anymore. I went to a friend, and he helped me find a different path. If it's any consolation, there's a hulk of a ship somewhere that used to be full of those drugs until I burned it.
Cade will give him the equivalent of a bow to an equal. And we'll say, in my eyes, that is enough to redeem you. If you had not done it, someone else would have. My friend was an idiot. But he was still my friend. I can't imagine a situation in which needing something like this would arise.
As Brother Nick will look at him, and it's after dabbing off or out some of the tears from his eyes. He'll say, "Need or not, give it here, please."
Do you intend to destroy it? I have a feeling that Susha and Nero will not be agreeable to that.
I'm okay with the being mad at me, at least about this.
Oops, I was muted.
Oh, so
I
you
was muted.
were.
I was gonna. I said, yeah, this seems like a good time for Nero to arrive.
What about me and Saoirse being upset with you? um,
There's another knock on the door.
Cade will mutter under his breath, saying, "Speak of the devil." And he'll hit the button and open the door. Yes.
Oh, both fit in here.
I was
I'll have you
waiting.
know I've been on a diet. He
Nero,
clearly doesn't believe that. He's just being sarcastic.
Nero steps in. Is that the thing?
It is. And before you grab it, understand that one mistake with your claws and you're a dead woman.
Uh,
Not from us. You need gloves. Minimum.
Can you repeat that? You were very quiet.
Sorry, connection probably cut out a little. One mistake with your claws and you'll be a dead woman, Narrow, if you puncture that. You must have gloves if you even want to touch it.
I'm not gonna take it from you. Nero looks over at Brother Nick. Then back over at Cade. You guys having a moment in here?
We've both been affected by people who used or sold this drug.
I don't like drugs either. But if you want,
Cade will grab his tablet and flip it around with the news article of essentially him finding 8+ students unconscious and dead, and in various cases of injury due to this drug. And he'll say, no, it was half that size.
okay, okay. What I want to say is, if you want her to be a captain, she has to be the captain.
Well, if she's going to be the captain, then when one of your crew starts freaking out about something, you ask them why.
Okay.
We all have our traumas, Nero. You're no different. Would you rather be asked when something does not agree with you strongly?
She'll talk to me later. You know, okay.
What? I didn't catch that.
No, sorry, that was me. Needing to cough and get some water. I got the booster
Got
on
you.
Wednesday, so yeah, stuff and things.
That was
How
Deb's
fun.
dying. No big deal.
Yeah, yeah. NBD.
Yeah. I was trying
Um,
to parse it, going, what?
um, Nara does look back at the news article. I didn't think you knew any trauma.
Really? You think all rich people are smart, well taken care of, and have no issues in their lives?
They're not all
That's
smart.
hilarious. Cade will turn it around, look at it, confused for half a second. I turn it back around and say, that was definitely a smart move, eh?
I said they're not all smart.
Mm. I thought you said they are all smart.
No. Nero leans back against the wall, looks over at the flask. What do you think she would do with it? What are you afraid she
I
would do
have
with it?
no idea. I have no idea. I cannot envision a situation in which it's even needed.
So trust her.
You realize we're talking about a drug equivalent of some of the detonation charges we set at that facility. That devastating in people's lives, and you're just asking me to trust that we're going to keep something that is less controlled than a bomb.
First, I'm not gonna stick my claws into every Tubucan we see.
You don't seem to like it, even if you don't like Tabukans. Except for Korea.
He's nice.
Ooh, that was low.
Bring the boyfriend.
So why don't you say the same for her?
I will if we can have a level-headed discussion about it. But for this, I'm willing to disobey and be punished. I don't care.
Both immature.
If that's what you see as immature, very well.
Nero is the single
Stop
most
clapping, Danielle.
mature person in our team. Calling it now.
Hey, Nero's asking for blind following of orders.
No, she's not. No, she is not asking for a blind following of orders. She's asking for your faith.
All right, you two, back to your corners.
I'm just saying, for somebody who is a Christian, they should understand the difference.
Okay, now.
Hey, that's getting low.
That's below the belt.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I say as a fellow Christian. I just
Nobody
wanna point
has.
that out.
Nobody has mentioned that, or suggested that perhaps a suggestion box could be created for the crew, and you know. Anyway, yeah, I'll step out of
Yeah, please do, GM.
it. Continue gleefully observing from the sidelines.
I think at this point, Cade will just flip over to the chat app and message Saoirse and basically just say, if you want this discussion to be productive, then you need to be here.
Oh, so he's just calling her out as having sent Nero.
Yeah.
All right.
Was she telling Tom anything about any of that?
About the drugs and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was going to update him on everything.
Was she maybe venting a little bit about it?
He would have telepathically picked up on her frustration and also sort of feeling at a loss.
Mm-hmm.
But he also would have seen the thought that she put behind, like, oh, we need to keep this, being from like a tactical thought process. He would have seen the things she had experienced
Mm-hmm.
in the military, people she saw out of control, and the
Yeah.
lives lost trying to trying to curtail and minimize the damage from those people.
Mm-hmm.
And how much governments paid to be able to have a poison that could do what this drug apparently does. And so she sees it as a huge boon, not because she just really fancies killing people, but he would have basically felt her frustration about the situation, but also would have seen her experiences for why she reacted the way she did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, he would have a little bit to say to her, that would, probably would probably be interrupted at some point by her, compad going off. So this would be kind of the parting uh, thing that he would say to her after having soaked in all her what she was saying and also what she was thinking and feeling. And I think what he would say to her telepathically would be there'd be a couple parts to it, but he would basically say, "You're right to look for weapons, but you need to think about your people too. Your
Her compad, when he says that, it's gonna go ding.
yeah, uh, this crew is still new, as I understand. You don't have years of having earned trust, so be careful in asserting control in ways it's not wanted. I know a little bit about that."
He'll feel curiosity kind of peeking through when he says that, but then she'll glance down at her compad, and he'll just hear her go, like roll her head back on her neck, and she just grabs her beanie and like pulls it over her face.
Yeah. Uh, just he'll I guess I'm trying to think how he would put this. Um, he'll just say, "Don't let your frustration dictate what you do."
She'll just look at him and for a second kind of realizing that he's got a lot more wisdom than she'd given him credit for. We've been reading a bunch of them old musty books that Brother Nick's carting around.
He'll clack a bit in amusement and just say, "Haven't really gotten a knack for reading yet."
Oh, that's a shame. You already sound like a walking book. Maybe at some point you'll write your own.
He he says to her, "Perhaps," and conveys the just a mental image of himself in his current form, hunched down over a book with a and the whole like tone of the image is kind of comic, uh, or I guess
So, like, he
comical.
finds the concept of him trying to write a book really
Yeah,
comical.
and like with his
Lobster claws trying to hold a
yeah, I
pen
mean
and stuff.
he's got opposable thumbs at least, but yeah, and his big clawed hands and just it looks very incongruous uh, to her in that image.
She'll throw back an image in her head of him in his current form, but in like a coat we would recognize as like something from like the 1800s, but it's like obviously skewed through like the passage of time and not all the
Hmm.
there's different weird little details, but he's like walking around and he's clicking and clicking, and then there's like someone like that looks a little bit like Damsa writing furiously as he's clicking, so dictating.
Yeah. Oh, is he wearing one of those ridiculous like judicial wigs? Is it that kind of like
He definitely
distorted
has a
view of the
ruffle. He has
1800s?
a neck ruffle, like not a 1700s neck ruffle, but definitely like there's a floof at the neckline.
Got you. Oh man, good find, Robert. I don't know.
Oh no, where is this? Where is this? What am I missing?
I just searched for alien reading,
Oh, that's amazing.
and it's perfect.
Where
It
is
is.
it? Out of
It's
character
in out of
chat, I
character
bet.
chat. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a C chat.
it's Predator reading a newspaper and
That is perfect.
the alien looking over his shoulder like slap.
A lobster. Oh my stars.
I like that. Lobster.
Lobster. Going to phrase there.
Oh my.
All right, yeah. So
That's
Tom's
a
done
good
imparting
wisdom.
He kind of he gestures towards the door and says, "Go on."
Are you sure I can't just hide out in here a bit longer?
He gets a bit of a guttural growl building in the back of his
Does
throat.
he like start clicking menacingly?
Yeah, his mandibles definitely like spread and just wave a little bit in the air at her.
she'll throw her hands up and she's like, all right. Message received, loud and clear. And remember, I'm only giving you my arms when you really need it, not when, you don't like something I'm doing.
He does like a half lunge at her, like you do to try to spook somebody real quick, and
She's gonna like fling a pillow at him from out of one of the chairs, like bunch like just leap out of the room. Eat on that, you tosser.
you hear the sound of clacking behind you. Amused clacking.
Amused clacking.
Yes.
Saoirse
Yep.
kind of like laughs to herself that she's beginning to tell the differences in his mandible clacks. And then she thinks for a moment, what am I going to do when Tom's not on my ship anymore? Will I run around with castanets just to fill the void?
Whatever it takes.
Okay, so you're all in the med bay right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, dear goodness.
Getting tight now.
Nara looks over after he's texted and said, "There's a little bit of a delay there. Did you just message her?"
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
If she wants to work this out, she needs to be here.
You know she's a girl.
He'll just look at her like, are you dense? For a second, like, I think everyone knows that, Nero.
Nobody ever told you just let it go for now. Come back later.
Captains don't get that. If she waits too long, either Nick or I will probably just destroy it out of hand. If she wants her orders followed, she needs to be here and needs to follow up on what she said.
On the compad in like the group chat, Saoirse's just gonna message like, this door is really thin, right? And press
Nope.
send.
And when Cade's compad pings, he'll just raise his voice even higher. If it's that thin, then get in here. Or talk back. Your choice.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how visibly uncomfortable is everyone else?
I mean, Cade's trying not to feel ill over all this. Like, visibly.
So he's visibly uncomfortable.
Narrows a 3, but she's getting a little bit anxious at being in such tight space, so make it a 4.
Yeah. What about Brother Nick?
Yeah, I guess a 4. This is getting claustrophobic.
Saoirse upon is there like some way to like card the door open from the outside, or do you have to knock, or like what?
No, you could open it from the outside.
She's gonna open
I'm
it.
just a visiting touch.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna open it and seeing all of them in the med bay, she's just gonna kind of sneer a bit and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for not rushing over here to be packed in like a can of sardines. Would you like to take this elsewhere? So you're not up each other's armpits."
Yes.
Go on, maybe we can find some chocolate that's not drugged.
Sticking with Twinkies.
You
Cade
would.
will follow them out of the room and lock the door from his compad.
Saoirse's gonna go to the miscellaneous storage and get out packages of hot chocolate or tea or whatever there is and set a kettle on.
All right. And as far as chocolate, the best she's going to be able to find is some of those MRE style cookies.
She'll take that.
Not bad if you're not particularly discerning.
She was practically raised on MREs, so that's fine. Is there any tea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Probably due to Brother Nick. So
Yeah,
she'll
well,
put the kettle on while they're filtering in to the table. She's gonna wait for everyone to be there. I'm guessing Brother Nick and Nero are in a standoff to see who's the last one to leave the mess hall. Unless Cade literally waited until everyone left so he could lock it.
Yeah, he waited for everyone to leave.
Yeah, I
before
figured you
locking
would.
it.
Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
Last one out, lock the door,
Mm-hmm.
lock his compad.
Swallow the key.
That's
Pretty
gonna hurt
close.
coming out later.
Especially if it's one of those 9 to 10 inch compads.
Oh boy.
Oh my. All right. On that note, seriously. telekinesis some mugs to the table through the doorway. And she's gonna poke her head through the opening and just ask if anybody has any preferences on drinks.
Do we have any marshmallows left?
Ben, do we have any marshmallows left?
Yeah.
We have some of the itty bitty ones, I think. What are those, the miniature ones you got at the
Okay.
dancer's bag?
Okay. Want those?
She'll grab a package of those. Does anybody else be wanting the wee marshmallows in their hot chocolate?
No, thank you. I'm not so sure that those are marshmallows anymore. They might be a little old.
Judging by Nero's taste and sweet delights, I'm not sure any of the things she likes go bad.
Good point.
Hi, Nick. Are you making your own tea, or did you want me to grab one of yours from here?
Oh, yeah. We'd ask you to grab a tea.
She'll just grab a bag. Would she? Hey, Ben.
Hmm.
Is there a variety of tea or just the one type?
Yeah, it's just the one.
Okay, cool. All right, so she'll grab Brother Nick's weird mossy smelling tea and the MRE hot chocolate and the mini marshmallows. And she thinks, what an odd bunch. She's going to scoop it up. And her arms are full of like the drink stuff, and she's going to float the kettle out behind her. And she'll she'll give each person their drink stuff and then grab the kettle and start pouring into mugs. Alright, well, this is probably a sight better than cramming into Cade's bedroom. You probably didn't want us there anyway. But I had hoped to maybe talk about this later. But I can understand wanting to talk about it now instead of then. What are your concerns about keeping that wee jar back there?
Kid will raise an eyebrow and look at Brother Nick for a moment, and then back at Saoirse, and start iterating on his fingers that we don't accidentally kill ourselves trying to use it, that we don't accidentally kill ourselves trying to sell it, that we don't kill ourselves with somebody trying to buy it or steal it from us. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
She nods. Sort of an abundance of caution, you'd have us flush it in the loo.
No, out of principle. Anything you want to do with it can be done better by something else, and with less collateral damage.
I don't agree on that, actually. You see, I've been part of what was supposed to be the solution for a lot of those problems that needed solving. And there were quite a number of times where a couple drops of something small smelled like flowers. Would have been nice to have. Would have saved a lot of lives and a lot of trouble. I'm not saying we go and toss this in every Tabukin's well water. But we're dealing with dangerous people in dangerous times. And I'd like to be well prepared if we should have need of something like that. And if you'd like, I can hide it away, put it up where it won't be bothered with on accident, as you said. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And out of principle, I'd rather be able to take care of somebody dangerous quickly than with the lives of people who didn't need to die.
I think you partially misunderstood. What I meant was less collateral damage when you're using it. You don't understand. This is potent enough to take down rooms easily. A bottle that size breaking in the ship's ventilator would probably kill us all. And most people trying to board the ship as well.
Curious, exactly what did you think would happen if our cargo hold previously had ceased to get the night top they needed to stay asleep?
I wasn't as worried about that. If need be, we could have jettisoned them. And no, this was not smuggled aboard as a backup. This is smuggled aboard for somebody's recreational use.
This sounds to me more like you have a problem with somebody wanting to use it for fun than you do somebody wanting to use it responsibly.
I would say that I debated can be used responsibly.
I'm not quite understanding
What?
why you don't hear me.
Yeah.
If you're going to point your finger at your nose because you don't want to take responsibility, then don't shake your fist at me because I'm trying to. I'm really tired of living my life being told I don't understand because I don't agree. I'm sorry that in your life you've had a few friends die because of a poor decision, because someone who is greedy might have taken advantage. Someone stupid enough to try something out they didn't know about. But I need you to be man enough to not let your heart control you. I know how to keep things safe. I've had to fly on a ship with a nuke. I've had to fly on this cargo hold. I've had to transform and feed a flesh-eating alien. You think I don't know how to take care of something dangerous? Do you think I'm just going to fling it at you in a fit of rage? I understand that being your captain doesn't give me the right to order you around and just completely ignore your feelings. That's a load of bollocks and it sucks. I've had captains like that. That's not the kind of captain I want to be. But I do care about what actually happens to this crew. And seeing as we are now going into enemy territory, enemy controlled territory, I would like to have my options open.
At best, we have to hide it in the holdout room so that if any customs official searches, it is not found. They'll hold all of us.
Give me the code.
Why?
I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to take it or use it.
What do you intend to do?
Just give me the only code to the cargo. This is the smuggler's hold. I'll put it there. Nobody else can get it without me. Without me.
Cade will consider it and glance at Brother Nick, knowing that he has objections too.
No, the mediator.
He had been pondering this over his tea, and say, I can see the sense of what you're saying. This is a dangerous tool, and one I really would rather we not use.
Do you think I'd be wanting to hold on to it if it weren't dangerous? She's looking at him, just waiting for an answer.
Cade will grimace and just say that some poisons are far safer than this.
Aye, you're talking to the biopsionic. The person that, if you had any of that in your system, would be charged with healing you. You don't think I've seen this before? Or heard of things like this? I've healed people of poison. It's not the easiest thing, but it's doable. Because most poisons are slow. If you want something done efficiently, you need it to be swift. That's why this is valuable, because it appears to act swiftly enough. She's gonna look around, and she hasn't taken another sip of her hot chocolate in a while. I trust Nero more than I've ever trusted anybody with a couple of blades up their arms. But
Head on my hips.
Aye, there too. Though I will say, I'm sure that most of us would prefer to control it ourselves. And perhaps that's why I think this is the best option. Let Nero hold on to it. And by hold on to it, I mean go with her plan. But let her be the one to hold the key.
And for what it's worth, Cade would be sure from his look inside that little smuggling hold that it is in no way hooked up to any of the ventilation in the rest of the ship.
I'm content with it if you are, Brother Nick. I would prefer we use it as a last resort. If there's nothing else.
Oh, so you mean a compromise? She's gonna be kind of grinning at him a little bit.
You say that as if I expect to ever use it.
Out of character, I didn't really understand that sentence in context.
That he is okay with the compromise because he doesn't expect the conditions to ever be met.
Got you.
Yeah, it sounds like he's partially banking on any time it comes up, being able to come up with a different solution that doesn't require using it.
Yeah. Essentially that.
My brother Nick, he, with his eyes down at his tea, say, "You're my captain, and I'll follow your orders. But please don't make me fly on a ship with that again."
I'm not planning on selling it to some thrill-seeking teens, Brother Nick. I can tell you that if it does ever meet someone's lips, it'll be because they ran out of any chance of turning their life around. I'll do my best to get it off my ship as soon as possible. But when we're dealing with a king who cares not for borders or peoples, I'd rather have a king killer on board. Hopefully, we'll only have to deal with some of his dogs.
No. Put that out in the air.
What?
I think your husband just.
I don't know.
I don't think there was anything rational or normal about what just happened.
Apologies if I don't know how that came across the mic. I guess I'll have to listen later and find out. My jaw done hit the floor.
You didn't expect us to work it out enough to keep it?
Well, no,
We proved him wrong, boys. No.
no, it's not that exactly. I guess before I start going, before we start talking more, is that pretty much the scene for everyone?
think so.
Okay.
Well, as they're finishing things off, Saoirse's gonna pick up her mug and she'll look in it and she'll just say, well, I wasn't looking forward to it. I do appreciate you lads giving me the chance to listen to you and actually giving me a chance to talk and explain my idea. I do appreciate it.
And everyone hugs.
No, absolutely not.
Nope. Cade will probably just get up and go to his quarters till he's needed by the pilot for running the blockade.
If he gets up and just walks out after she says that, she's gonna snort and say, "Great, good talk." Put her mug down. She'll walk out too. Actually, she'll stop and then she'll turn around and she'll say, "Nero."
Yeah.
Go meet me outside the smuggler's hold with the bottle. And she's gonna go to her room, see if she has. Oh, she knows exactly what she has. She has Dams's crate in her room.
That's right.
She is
Okay.
going to telekinesis that crate over to the smuggler's hold.
Nero
Okay.
nods and gets up and heads on over to Cade's room. Oh, med bay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The temporary Cade's room.
There's a knock on a door, but it's not a normal narrow knock. It's actually a little bit softer, like a normal knock, I guess.
Cade will
What do
just
they call
open the
that? Oh
door.
yeah, sad smile.
Yeah, you said Cade opens.
Yeah, he'll just open the door. He was expecting it.
Nero walks in and lets the door close behind her. You can trust me with it.
Cade will be pulling out medical gloves to hand to her and look her straight in the eyes and say, "Keep your word."
Her expression is one of uh combination of three things. The first one is yeah duh. Um the second is kind of on the verge of hurt, but not really. And the third one is a little bit confused.
And he'll add to his statement and say, "Don't want to lose you or anybody else either."
I'll keep my word.
He'll hand her the gloves and just in case when she's got those on, pass the bottle to her after he gloves up and removes it.
She does put the gloves on and takes the bottle carefully.
Just thankful we didn't spill it when you first opened it. That would have been disaster.
Shouldn't have been left like that.
It was reckless to leave it like that. No label. Because, of course, they didn't want to be busted, I'm sure.
Are there extra blankets and pillows in here?
Cade will search the room because he honestly doesn't know.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, he'll pull out a few extra.
Yeah. Nero takes and wraps the bottle in them, as she's expecting to put it into another box somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, moves back towards the door and as it's opening, she glances back at him. Thank you.
Cade will look sad for a moment and just nod.
And Nero takes the bottle out to Smuggler's Cache.
So Nero is heading down the hall, and the message comes over the comm system from the pilot. We're coming up on the designated point at the end of our response window. Still nothing from your friend. Kate, I'll need you soon. And Nero arrives, crate with Saoirse standing there.
Okay. She arrives with a swaddle of blankets and one pillow, cradled as if she were holding a baby. Well, a doll, not a baby. She never let Nero hold a baby. But damn, that's great.
Aye, well, figure it's used to holding precious cargo. Or something easily breakable at the very least.
He was really fragile.
Aye, that was sort of tongue-in-cheek, wasn't it? Now, if you don't mind, and she'll gesture towards the bundle in her arms.
Oh, what she got bundled up?
No, the bundle in Nero's arms.
Oh, in Nero's arms. Yes, right. That makes a
It's the
lot more
most
sense.
narrow thing you said all night. She's gonna telekinetically pull the top off of the crate. And gesture in there. You want to put it in there, or you want me to lift it in?
I can put it in here. Nero just leans over and puts it in. The crate's considerably bigger than the swath of blankets and stuff that Nero has concocted, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We got a couple more. Don't worry about it.
She
Kate,
can find some odds and ends to put in there if she wants to pack it in more.
If
she
anything,
does.
you could find the trash. Like literally plastic and paper and stuff like that.
Nah, this'll do for now, but she'll come back later on and tape it to one of the corners.
Okay.
And I'm assuming Nero knows how. Well, actually, maybe she doesn't. If anything, a smuggler's hold type situation would be the most experience she had with a ship before this.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to necessarily say, oh yeah, she obviously had experience with a smuggler's hold before.
What aspect of it are you
Well,
wondering about?
she's wanting to change the code so that she's the only one that has it.
Mm. Um.
Cade will have told her he'd set it up once they're done putting everything in. That way, that
Okay.
anybody can close it.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I would need a skill check of some kind from her to determine that.
Yeah. No,
Um,
she'll let Kate set that up.
while
Perfect.
Nero is messing around with like the interface of that, uh, Saoirse is going to pull an envelope out of her pocket, and she's going to telekinesis it into the bottom of the crate
Oh.
under the blankets and pillows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mystery. All right. And so with that, I think we
That's
can
end
wrap up
scene.
that scene, right? Yep.
Yep.
End scene. All right. So it is 11:30. We will wrap up here pretty shortly.
So this episode is named the Twinkie Box of Mystery and Discord.
The Twinkie box of doom.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, if we could, let's have a skill contest before we close the session.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to need Cade's program check.
Okay. Is this for keeping the ship stealthed? Because if I remember, there's a modifier to that.
Yes, it is. And there are, I believe you get a plus. You get considerable bonuses.
I thought it was like a +3 or a +4. Or...
You get a +2 for being a frigate. So that's your just innate thing. I believe with your ship modifiers, with some of the extra bells and whistles, you get an additional +4.
Pretty sweet. I forgot it was that high.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
+6. And it is hacking based, so it counts as 3d6 or just a 2d6?
It is just a 2d6, not hack.
Okay. Alright. And that was a low roll.
It was a fairly low roll, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ben, is he only
Mhm.
making one check or is he making multiple checks? Basically
So
asking for purposes of can he freely reroll?
Yeah.
yeah, so let's see. This is if you want to make a check to scan for hidden ships or signatures as well, you could do that. I will say, let's see, I guess as far as scenes go, the scene will end when you land on the planet or basically leave orbit one direction or the other. So any other kinds of rolls you might do to try to scan the planet or do stuff in orbit is going to fall into this scene. If that's informative enough as far as
Sure.
okay.
I think my concern would mainly be making sure we have the highest as for our own stealth. I would rather miss that there's somebody else there and
Yeah.
us be undetectable.
Yeah. So I'll tell you which is which and whether or not you succeed. So this was
Right.
for hiding. And so let me make a public roll here to contest your attempt to hide. Let's see, just let's see. There we go. And make sure I'm using the right file. Let's
Come
see,
on,
did you have
Cade.
enough? Okay, you had
Si se puede.
I mean, that was a low roll. I only rolled a 5.
I know. I
Yeah,
guess
it
when I
was
say
It was
come on,
planet
Kate, I'm more
bonuses.
like, come on, mess up, other dude.
I was gonna say.
I would recommend re-rolling that. I mean,
Well, we'll see if it fails, and then you can roll.
sure, that's true. That's totally fair.
Let's
Yeah.
I believe this is right. So we got this. Make it tight. Fire. Roll. Sure. This right. Oh boy. Okay. Taking me too long. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Right.
When the GM
Oh,
doesn't
so
remember how to roll dice.
hey, I don't want to accidentally. I actually caught myself. I was about to give them an extra +3 that they were not supposed to have.
Holy cow, Ben! What the heck?
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. It pays to let me take a couple extra seconds to double check my numbers.
Oh my word.
Unless you'd rather I just, go
Nope,
all willy
no,
nilly
it
with the
did not
dice rolls.
complain. Nope,
Okay.
did not complain, not a
Keep trying
single
at this
time.
point. Yeah.
Oh, that is not Tom. Excuse me. Well, guess we gotta re-roll.
Tom, what were you doing?
The true betrayal.
Yeah, no, I was gonna type something else earlier as Tom.
He was trying to decrypt our message to Boris. And he did, and he couldn't understand what it said, so he thought he failed.
No,
Anyway.
that was supposed to be the Tabukan battleship.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised it didn't show up anywhere.
Oh, so are you rolling per ship?
No, so basically,
Okay, just for the group.
yeah, for a
Gotcha.
given group, yeah, you take the best.
Highest?
Yeah, you take the best
Yeah.
modifier, and that one covers for everyone. Otherwise, that'd be OP.
Yeah.
All right, they've got
no
a
kidding.
they've got a fleet of 9 ships, and they're all contesting your single attempt to hide. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Besides, realistically, not all of them would even be able to. But anyway,
I like how the word realistically just got brought up in a sci-fi tabletop RPG game. Continue.
Yep.
Considering the math at hand,
Thank you.
mathematically, let me put it that way. Maybe not realistically, but mathematically. I don't know if that's real enough for you guys.
All right,
Anyway.
so we hid well.
Yes, you hid well. If you want to go ahead and give me another one if you want to do the passive check to see if anyone else is out there, you can roll another program int. This time with, I believe you come out to a net -1.
A net -1.
Oh, actually,
Okay.
your survey, you got the survey scanners, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
And that's another one of those. It's hidden in the text of the fitting, how much it adds.
It's a +2.
But I think okay, so you come out at a net +1. Yeehaw. So yeah, add an extra 1 to your program check.
+1.
Oh, don't add the plus. Come on.
Yeah,
you know that.
I just typed 1.
I've done that so many times.
What?
Mhm.
That was terrible. D20, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
Oof.
Roll20 is displeased with you.
The feeling when an 11 is a wow, roll 20. What are you doing to me? It's so low.
Right? Right?
Yeah. So that nothing comes up on your scans.
Well, I think we might want to re-roll that one. Right, everybody?
As long as the first one, as long as the hiding one hasn't failed, then yeah, might not be a bad idea.
Yep, you're
Yeah.
good. You are hidden until you get to the planet.
Okay.
Woohoo.
So yeah, let's find out if we see anybody. Wow.
Oh,
What?
garbage.
Well,
Woo!
What
Reroll
is
for the
wrong with my
win.
dice? Ugh.
What is wrong with my digital incorporeal dice?
I know I should
Dadgummit.
have dug out a real set.
You really
Could've
should have,
pre-rolled.
for principle.
They're tired of rolling 15s and 17s for you. And we'll took it
Yeah.
out. Gotta give him a chance to
Like that was a net
recover.
+5 to my roll. He's just
I'm
terrible.
breaking out the dice video again.
Yep, I know.
No, so all right. So we'll end the session on the note that Prudence coasts silently and effortlessly down through orbit at just the right angle, apparently avoiding all notice. And however, unfortunately, without having heard so much as a whisper from Boris.
yeah.
Saoirse would definitely be nervous about that as they got closer. And she
Yeah,
would have
so-
wanted Nero to make sure Victor knew about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So for next time, I'll just think that's enough information for you guys to pick some kind of landing spot and formulate a loose plan of some kind. Let's get some faves real quick. Danielle, do you want to go ahead and start heading out,
Um,
or do we still have a few minutes?
yeah, I need to go ahead and hold on. Let me just switch to my phone real quick.
Okay.
Also, the kids are still not asleep. Fun fact.
Oh boy.
You guys
No.
dodged a baby
boy.
bullet tonight.
Thankfully,
Yeah,
we have a
same.
babysitter who actually wanted to spend time with them this late at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We were burnt toast if certain people had not
Toast!
just.
Burnt toast!
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all's babysitter's a hero.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so again, I'll put my PayPal and Cash App if anybody would like to add to the GoFundMe to spoil our babysitter for making tonight possible.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I would prefer not to be the first one for favorites, but
That's okay. You don't have to go first.
all right, thanks. And I'm putting in my headset, so hopefully the audio quality won't be terrible.
You know you get special benefits being a base master and all.
Wow.
The main one being you don't have to go first to the faves.
Rank hath its privileges.
True. Maybe you could chalk that up to being captain.
Yep. That's exactly what I was chalking it up to.
All right. Who would like to volunteer first here?
I volunteer as tribute.
Bring it on.
Just character development. Like a lot of in-character stuff this time. A lot of interaction and character development, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was frankly blown away. And this just goes to show that the GM can only consider so many possibilities.
Yeah.
Never
Also,
in-
I think Dex is gonna have to change the description because this says casual in big letters. Twitch stream description, and then it turned into a space opera just real quick.
Yeah.
Oh Ben, you have the car keys.
Space
So I
telenovela.
do.
I'm shaking my fist in the direction of your office, sir.
I have my key to the van. Just so we're clear.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
If we want
I
to
humble
go
myself,
there.
sir. I humble myself.
All right, give me one moment.
Already here. Thank you. Why? Oh, Husky. Thanks. But yeah, that got real good. Like,
Oh yeah, it got really intense and deep.
Yeah.
but so good. But so good.
Yeah, I enjoyed tonight's episode.
Mm.
I am
Fist
struggling to
bump to
think of a
everybody.
fave.
What'd you say?
I said, I said I'm struggling to think of a fave. What did Robert say?
Oh, I basically just said fist bump to everybody.
Oh.
I think.
Fist bumps all around.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
Ethan,
Yeah.
what about you?
Literally.
I think yeah, quality role playing all around.
I think that might be the most role playing that we have done this entire game.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean that was basically an entire session straight.
I think
Never-
it was the entire session straight.
Yeah, never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that the contents of that box would spark so much character interaction and revelation.
Yeah.
I figured
Nero
it would
rolled for notice at 9:42. So that was the whole game.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
I think that should be the title of the stream. Narrow rolls for notice.
Oh man.
Role playing ensues.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice
man.
a pattern.
I think I can pin down a favorite now.
All right.
So, obviously mirroring the role playing and the character development, especially getting to see Brother Nick and Cade a bit more. I almost regret interrupting the two of them talking, but it seemed like the right point for Nero to come around.
It was.
My actual, well, I mean, yeah, I was just mirroring what they'd said there, but my actual favorite was just that little bit of comedy, that the comedy before the storm of Nero climbing up on the counter with Saoirse behind her, like, I put food on there, and knocking things out of the cabinet, not trying to, but she needs to get to this Twinkies box, and then the serious discussion while Nero's getting a little bit woozy, and then
Oh my god.
capping that with, all right, Nero doesn't want any of this stuff, so she just puts it on the counter and walks away.
Oh my word.
That was a
Man,
good scene.
That chocolate must have been expired. Leave that there.
It was edibles. It was drugs.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect, Ethan.
Yeah, that's exactly that was Brother Nick to a T.
Oh,
Walking in like, what is going on here? All right, Danielle, we are down to you, I believe. Unless you
Did
want me to
Ethan go?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
he went
Okay,
generic.
so one, yeah, the role playing was amazing. I actually really enjoyed, and this is gonna sound so passive aggressive, so stay with me, okay?
no.
I know
It's
what
not-
it is.
It's not meant to be passive aggressive, I promise. I actually really enjoyed the challenge of Saoirse having to figure out how to captain two men attempting to mansplain to her about how dangerous the controlled substance she wanted to use to possibly kill somebody was. So that's, I don't mean it aggressively towards you guys, but as someone who has had to deal with mansplaining in real life, I was like, is this happening right now in Stars Without Number? This is happening. It's like, there were repeated times where Saoirse was told, no, you don't understand. And it's just, I'm just like, should I be rolling dice right now to see like how many times Saoirse can handle being told she doesn't understand this when she has verbalized multiple times that she understands this? It's just like, no, this could just be an RP decision. I don't need to roll the dice for this. Like, I was just laughing like, oh man, oh wow, even in fantasy. Even in fantasy. But I did enjoy the fact that like Saoirse did finally reach a point, because she has been fighting pretty hard the title of captain and of being a boss. And this is actually, I think, the second time that she's kind of taken the reins when she did not want to, but when she felt like it was necessary. I guess the first time being with Brother Nick, when we found Tom and the place was about to get just swarmed over with, now we know who the Sons of Glory, right? And we needed to teleport out. So that was the first time that she actually was like, I'm going to be confrontational about this and take the lead. But then after that, anytime Cade or anyone else would say, like, oh, hey, boss, or like, you're the captain, or like anything like that, she was like visibly annoyed. But then for her to actually say, no, I'm going to be the captain and I'm making a decision. And if you weren't just like making fun of me that whole time, that you were always calling me captain and boss, then let's figure out how to make this work, because I'm actually trying to do the thing you've been telling me to do. So actually having to work through that, as like figure out how the character would work through that, was just golden. And I really appreciated, I guess, not that like I ever wanted her and Cade to butt heads, but it was interesting to have the battle of wills with Brother Nick and then hear a battle of wills with Cade. And getting wisdom from Tom, that's another one. Getting wisdom from Tom was amazing. But like just saying that, like having that moment of like, oh crap, like it's not just all going to be sunshine and daisies and, you know, unicorns. Somebody's got to actually like have words with each other and do the unpleasant thing and talk it out. Crap. So yeah, I'm really bad at putting my favorite into as few words as possible, so I apologize, but I've noticed this trend. Trust me, I'm aware. But yeah, I really liked that opportunity and how it went. So if I were to be succinct, I'm thinking, that was all me thinking out loud. If I were to be succinct, it would be Saoirse's growth and taking the reins as captain, or taking her title as captain. Nero being a peacekeeper, and wisdom from Tom. Those three things like were chef's kiss, like just cherry on top of the whole night.
Okay. So you didn't want to mention mansplaining in your faves, after all?
Oh yeah, that was the first one. Add that. The mansplaining was definitely the first fave.
Ben's gonna need a Nitro subscription to get this all in.
True.
Basically.
Yep.
let's see. There was one
If you
about.
ever wonder what being married to me is like, this is it.
Let's see. What was
He
the part
has
about narrow?
practice, guys.
Oh, narrow mediating.
Yeah.
Okay, I went ahead. I think I got these all more or less in the right order. Oh, actually, yeah, I think that's fine. All right. So that brings us to me, my favorite part, and having quite a lot of things to pick from. I just kind of went through and hit all the kind of the qualities that I really enjoyed about the role playing that was done tonight. I really enjoyed the backstory revelation that we got mostly. It was kind of mostly from Cade and Brother Nick, but we got little hints of that from Saoirse and Nero as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just always fun because as a player, I know some people. I tend to do this. It seems like you guys do this too, where you write a bunch of different things, or you come up with various things, thinking, oh, maybe that'll come up sometime, and then for a long time it just doesn't. And so getting to find an opportunity, hey, this is relevant now, or hey, I can flesh out this little one-liner I wrote about my past and make it impactful in this scene that's always just really fun. I enjoyed seeing that from you guys. I enjoyed the tension. I think that's a valuable part of the role playing, for there to be moments. I did not expect this to do that, but I was pleasantly surprised with how much came out of that.
I didn't expect this polarizing substance to polarize my players, but I'm very thankful that it did.
Hey, what can
Well-
I say? I'm short-sighted.
It's alright.
Well, to be a little transparent, there is I didn't have anything pre-written about that
Oh
drug.
my.
That was actually improv.
That is super well done.
Yeah.
So
I thought it
I
actually
saw the
made
opportunity and just leaned in because it made sense for the character.
Yeah, it definitely made sense for the character, and I also liked the idea of like, especially Nero saying to Saoirse, he hasn't gone through stuff like we have,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then for Cade to be
Yeah.
like, I've definitely got like my social status and wealth does not shield me from going through trauma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's funny. That was actually my next little point. I went ahead and just slapped a bunch of these in together because there was just so much. But assumptions,
Mhm.
I enjoy that in interpersonal stuff because it's really fun to see kind of realistic feeling interactions, and that's one of those things that
Oh
just
man.
people do in spades. So just the assumptions all around. I mean, almost everybody assumed something about somebody else.
Yeah.
Oof.
And
Yep.
that's just, it makes for very interesting interactions.
I had not even thought about that, but like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that. But yeah, it was literally the crew having to learn things about one another so they could see past the assumptions they were making.
Mhm.
That's really powerful.
But and then I've just got a couple more. The compromise, which I guess I probably should have gone last. Yeah. But the negotiation and the mediation, all of that happening inter-party. And I did enjoy Tom getting roped into that a little bit too. but just Nero stepping in, ending up being the one mediating. I feel like that has happened in other similar instances in the past where there are party members who are butting heads a little bit, and Nero ends up being the cooler head, or the go-between,
Mm-hmm.
at least the one who's able to interact with everyone and be peaceable with everyone. Yeah,
Can't
I
think of
think
any
that's it for me.
specific instances, but that feels right.
Yeah, nothing nearly as
Yeah.
overt as this scene,
Yeah.
but yeah. All right, so
Well,
that's it for faves.
XP.
XP indeed.
Over level 10,
You
we don't
all
need XP.
get 1 experience point. Tipping a certain someone. I guess a couple someones? Can't remember if Brother Nick's on his own tier or not. No, he's right there with Saoirse, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So
So
we are now 3 level 10s.
woo.
Right.
You have 7 more sessions of this 1 XP drip to go up a level, and it's not even level 10.
Oh.
I'm just hassling you.
That's okay.
I
We're
will
having
say,
a good time.
Robert, I really enjoy what you bring to the group, and I am very sorry if I allowed my sass to bleed over into real discussion. Because you know
All good.
I love you and Andrea, and I really enjoy playing with you, so I wasn't trying to like be a jerk, and I'm sorry I was a jerk. So
Nah, all good.
Maybe I should change that casual tag to wholesome.
maybe that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe you could add one. I can foresee you having to remove that one pretty quickly.
Right when Nero
Depends
takes
on the
a
episode.
blade to somebody,
See, I think there's
Yeah.
when
entirely
she
too
ribbons
much
somebody up.
murder, dismemberment.
Yeah.
Hey, now
there are
Nero
wholesome
hasn't had a
moments.
chance to dismember anybody in like 7 sessions.
Listen, Nero is a wholesome cinnamon roll, and I will murder anyone who says otherwise.
She's a wholesome cinnamon roll until next episode.
With a sprinkling of violence, okay? It's like sea salt on a chocolate chip cookie, okay? You need it to amplify the flavors, make you
Oh, man.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Okay.
you did not just make me hungry at bedtime.
You're so welcome.
This is where I need. This is where I need that picture from The Office with Jim and Dwight sitting there with. It has been X days since our last nonsense.
Oh.
I need that to be. It's been X days since our last dismemberment.
Yep.
Can we get some? I want us to get money together to pay an artist to do our whole crew, but I would love to have our whole crew holding that sign. That would be the best.
Yeah,
that's
All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I just got here to pick up the kids. Which one last note on wholesomeness? I went to text the babysitter when I was on my way, and she said, "Watching awesome animated movies with your kids is like in my top 5 perfect nights.
Oh
so
my
it's really no
gosh.
sacrifice at all." I'm just like,
Wow.
where do you make dreamers like you? Where
Wow.
can I find? What have I done to deserve you?
Mm-hmm.
So
Y'all have a
anyway,
good night.
y'all too.
Mhm.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cut the stream now.
Sounds good.